Bienvenidos a todos ustedes. Welcome all to my channel, Dolls by Mr. Fabre. And if you haven't guessed, I am Mr. Fabre. I hope you guys have had a great week so far. So for those of you who may or may not know, but on Mattel Creations, they currently are having a sale on selected items. And one of those items that was 50% off. They're still having the sale now as of November 14th. They've actually listed a lot more items initially because in the beginning of the month of November, I believe it was November 3rd, they had selected items, and then the beginning of this week, so probably the week of the 10th or 9th of November, they added more items. Not all 50% off. They're like either 30% off, 40% off, but one of the items that was 50% off was the Barbie, the Barbie fashion model collection. I believe it's the second doll that was released in like the revival. Now, personally for me, I would say that the Silkstone Barbie line or the Barbie fashion model collection are absolutely gorgeous. I have seen many videos with the Barbie fashion model collection that was previously done with, you know, the old gold box and all that stuff. So they're amazing fashions. And I'm gonna be honest, this particular doll would not be on my top 3, top 5, top 10, top 20 Silkstones that I would want. But I do understand the high price that these dolls go for at like $100, $100 plus. I believe this was $125 retail, and it got her for I think like $52 or $62, something like that. I think it was like $62. So that's the reason why I got her. For me to spend that much money on a doll, I would really, really have to like the doll, like to the point where like I'm encapsulated, like I'm entranced by that doll. You know what I'm saying? So personally, for me, this one is not one that I would typically go for. It was kind of, I just thought she's pretty, but nothing to, you know, nothing to make me want to get her. But the sale definitely made me want to get her. So also, this is the first Silkstone doll that I've ever owned. So it is pretty exciting for me. So when I first saw this out of the box, I am very surprised how humongous this box is. I did not expect it to be this thick, especially just for one doll. But again, if you're paying like a quote unquote premium price, then it's kind of like you get the premium boxing as well. I really, really like the previous packaging that was used. That was like that gold rectangular box. It was like a slim box, kind of like a shoe box, but there was just something about it that was just so pretty and understated. This is okay, but I just prefer just like the very classic like gold. It felt vintage, you know? I feel like this feels more modern, which I understand that they were doing like the revamping or something towards the end of the series. But personally for me, the packaging is beautiful, but I do prefer the packaging of the previous box because it was just more simplistic, and I just love the gold. I'm a big fan of gold, if you can't tell. So yes, I haven't looked in the box yet. So yes, let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna open it now and then I'll give my first impressions. Okay, so when you first open it, it still has like that gold ribbon with the tissue paper, like how it used to be with the previous Barbie fashion model collection. I'm also so excited to actually hold this doll because I heard that the Silkstone material is heavy. So I wonder like how heavy is this doll, you know? You could already tell by the smile on my face. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take out the ribbon, and then we're gonna take out the tissue paper. Oh, okay, her head's kind of nodded, okay. But yes, I haven't looked at this doll yet, so this is my first impressions. Oh, that head tilts into the sides a little, that's concerning me a little bit. She looks cute though. Is that how she's supposed to look? Okay. It looks like she had some tabs in her head and it looks like they came undone. Interesting. Let's see. I'm looking at the doll now, and first impression, she's very beautiful. I low-key feel like mine has a little bit of a wonky eye. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not really complaining considering that, like, you know, she was half off basically, even though like she was still $60. I feel like if I paid full price, I would have been, to be honest, unpopular opinion, I personally don't mind if a doll has a tiny bit of wonky eye, unless if it's completely major, if like one is up here and the other one's down here. It's very subtle, but I can tell she, you know, when I sit a smidgen bit higher than the other, and when I do a close-up, I'll maybe point it out. That personally doesn't bother me, just because, you know, us as humans, we are not perfect by any means, so I don't need this doll to be absolute perfected. We all have flaws as humans, so for me, I feel like with the doll, I don't expect perfection out of a doll. So that's just my personal opinion. I know that there's people out there that say, I paid for this doll, I expect the perfect doll. Completely understandable. But personally, for me, I don't really mind it. If it's if there's a big contrast, and yes, I would feel some type of way about it. It's very, very subtle, but you know, it's fine. But yes, this was, I believe, the second Silkstone doll that was released in the revival of the Barbie fashion model collection. The first one, I believe, was like the sapphire one, where the doll was in like looked like a power suit, or like a, you know, like an old, like vintage, like 1950s, like what a typical business woman would wear. So yes, she's very, very pretty. And I will go ahead and I will take out the packaging, and then we'll do a close-up. And yes, I understand that this doll is many months old, and there's probably other reviews about her, but I'm very excited to get my doll, and I wanted to show her off. So I'll see you on the other side. All right, so we are on the other side, and she currently is unboxed. I have her against the stand, or against her box, not on the doll stand, because right now, as I mentioned with my previous video on when I did the review on the Ballet Wishes Old Deal doll, I currently don't have any more space to display any dolls. I'll have to find some more space, but after I'm done doing this review, she's going to go back in the box. But anyway, first thoughts out of the box, she looks absolutely gorgeous, and she is so heavy. Honestly, I did not expect her to be this heavy. Wow, like she got some heft on her. So I guess, you know, that's I'm assuming that's why, you know, the Silkstone material is super popular. But yes, this is her in all her glory. So to do a quick overview, so if you see here, like I mentioned, I feel like this eye is slightly higher than this eye here. You can kind of see it. If, you know, this eye is slightly higher, this eye is slightly lower. I don't really mind that much. I mean, if I tilt her to like the side or something, she'll be fine. But like I said, it doesn't bother me that much. You know, it's just, it is what it is, you know. There's going to be some dolls with some defects. It's not, in my opinion, I don't feel like it's a major thing, especially if she's sitting like this, like, you know, or I could tilt her to the side, she'll be fine. Anyway. So she has the vintage the vintage Barbie face mold. Her hair is in like a bun top knot type of thing, and it has like a little swirly thing in the back. Her hair is extremely gelled down, and again, unpopular opinion, I personally don't care. I don't really mind if a doll, not that I don't care, but I don't really mind if a doll has gel, especially if it's for a style. I mean, obviously the hair has to be kept up some way, and of course it has to be gel. But yeah, the hair is cute. I like that it's not just like I thought it was just like a simple bun where it was just like, you know, they just grab the hair and they just put an elastic, and I thought it was just this, you know. But I like how it actually has some intricacy here with the little roll. And then of course a little part here. So it does have some, the hair is quite intricate in a way. She has like a two-tone hair. She has like golden blonde, and she also has some like platinum highlights. So she is not just a golden blonde. And if you see here, she has like a tab. So I believe that was what was holding her head down. But for some reason on my packaging, it didn't hold her hair down. So her head was just, you know, her head was just like cocked to the side. And then we have these beautiful earrings, and it looks like it has some like fake diamonds on it. They're absolutely pretty. I hope that this isn't like real metal, because it's no secret that real metal earrings will turn the Silkstone material green. And then of course she has like a matching necklace as well with actual, with an actual like chain, which is cool. Once again, I hope that that's not real metal. But yes, these are so pretty. One thing I will say is I wish that they didn't sit like sideways. I wish that they sit more like, more straight up and down versus like curved. If only there was a way for them to like actually make sure that they're dangling like straight down and they're not tilting, towards her face. She also has a matching bracelet as well to match the necklace and the earrings. And then she has some pink opera gloves. I know people have said that they look like oven mitts. I mean, they're not wrong. They're very bulky, but I feel like it's kind of hard to make dainty, opera gloves. And usually when you buy a Silkstone, they are wrapped in plastic to help protect the skin. I don't think I'll be taking these off. Not yet anyway. We'll see when I'll do that. Like I said, I don't really want to remove anything from the doll because I don't plan on displaying her yet. And then this like little poofy part here, it has a nice, it feels like velvet. It feels very nice. And then it does come with a clasp here. However, it is attached to the front of the gown, which is a little questionable. It would have been cool if this was removable, but I kind of understand why they kind of, basted this down here, because you don't want this little ruffly piece to be moving all over the place. So I understand the concept. It would have been cool if maybe there was a clasp here, maybe. I don't know. If they found some way to have this be removable, but still keep it where if you want to keep it like this, it'll stay intact. That would have been real cool. Because I do think that the dress like this, even though if it's simple, it would have been very cute. And then this is the rest of the gown. Sorry, I can't get this all in one frame. And then she has multiple layers here. It's just one piece of fabric, but it has multiple like tulle layers here. And then if you see on top, it's very nicely done. I will say this part here is not, what is it, like lined or something? It's just, open fabric. So this I don't know if this may fray over time, so be cautious about that. And then she comes with, the paper around the knee joints to protect the knees. And she comes with her typical Silkstone, what is it called, slingbacks. I really like this shoe mold. The shoe mold's very pretty. It's very elegant. I do like these a lot. And I know that they use this mold for a lot of the Silkstones. And they're just so pretty. And then usually with Silkstones, they come with a manicure and a pedicure right there. So you can see her little, you can see her manicure there, or pedicure, I should say. And also something I forgot to mention, that with the Silkstone, it comes with the certificate of authenticity. It has very sturdy paper. I thought that it would be embossed. And with every Silkstone, it comes with special care instructions right here. So usually Silkstones also come with, I believe, like that, this like paper material inside the outfit too, if it's a dark color. So the color doesn't stain the actual Silkstone material, because it can stain. And then, oh, I got a notification. And then of course in the back, she has these elastics to hold the dress. She also comes with the snaps. They're not metal snaps, they are plastic snaps. People debate on whether or not they prefer metal or plastic snaps on their Silkstones. I have heard arguments saying that it's better to have plastic snaps because metal snaps will rust over time depending on the metal. I don't really have a preference either way. But yep, this is before I sign off, she also has the modern Silkstone articulation where she can move her head all the way. She can move her shoulders. Ooh, I'm very scared to move them. She can move them side to side and forward. She has elbow articulation. She has torso articulation as well. It's a little hard to see. She has torso articulation. She also has knee articulation. She also has knee articulation as well. And then she can also move her legs as well. It's kind of hard too, just because this is very tight. But yeah, she definitely has, you know, the modern Silkstone articulation where she has more, she can move around a little bit more, because in the past, she only had, I think, like 5 points of articulation probably, where she was only able to move from the head. Her arms were only able to go up and down. And then she had just, the legs can just kick back and forth. They couldn't, you know, split to the side. But anyway, this is the Barbie Fashion Model Collection doll, and there is a certain name. It is Exquisite Evening Gown. And that is her. She's absolutely stunning. And I'll go ahead and flip the camera over and give my final thoughts. All right, so my final thoughts on the doll. First off, something I just realized is another defect, I guess, that I noticed of this doll is that the ear piercings are misaligned. If you see here, you can see where the puncture hole was supposed to be in. I can show you here. The puncture hole was supposed to be up here, but then if you see how her piercing was down there, you can see like there's a little indentation right there. It doesn't look that bad when you can see it like this. The ears look pretty aligned, but if you see where the piercing is here versus here, how it's way off. So yeah, another defect. I will say that if I paid full price, I maybe would be feeling a little salty, but like I said, I got her half off. I'm just trying to be on the optimistic side here, but I do see two defects. My final thoughts. I think she's a very beautiful doll, and I'm glad to finally own a Silkstone. I didn't think I would ever have that opportunity. If Petticoat Perfection goes on sale, I will definitely be getting her because I think she's absolutely stunning. This one, again, this doll didn't appeal to me at first, but I think she's very pretty. A criticism I have is that I don't feel like this is really an aesthetic of the 1950s, 1960s, which is what the Silkstone theming is. I don't know. I'm not that well versed in fashion, so I don't know if this was maybe a silhouette in that era. I don't really feel like it is, in my personal opinion. Maybe it is, I don't know. But she's still very beautiful nonetheless. Here's the thing. Personally, for me, when I buy a doll, I'm very selective on what I buy because I want to really love the doll. And I also don't impulse buy either. I only get a doll when I truly, truly, really like them, and I'm very like entranced by their beauty, by the aesthetic, I pick and choose what type of doll that I want. And I have to justify why I want that doll. Personally, like this doll here, she was definitely not my first choice or my first 10 choices, but I simply got her because she was on sale, and I know the high price tag that she has, and the fact that I got to have her half off, of course, and it's a Silkstone, of course I would get her. Because again, if she was full retail, I would not have gotten her for full retail price. And I think for me, the reason why like I'm not like entranced by her is because I wouldn't have gotten her if she wasn't on sale. So she's definitely one of the few dolls that if not maybe the only doll that I purchased where I wasn't crazy about her. I got her because yeah, she's pretty, but like, was I willing to spend full price on her? No. Is she on sale? Yeah. But she's very beautiful regardless, even with the 2 defects. Like I said, it's perfectly fine. She's a doll after all, you know. It's not like, I don't like, for me it's like when they're little defects, you know, not trying to invalidate how other people may feel, but for me I'm just like, there are other worse things in the world to be upset about. And for a piece of plastic, okay, you know, it's all good. But yes, I do think that she's very beautiful. Like I mentioned, I don't know if this aesthetic is really accurate, in my opinion. Who knows? Maybe she is accurate. I don't know. Sorry if I'm not all hyped about her. Sorry if this video may not be like me absolutely like anyway, don't mind me. So yes, this is the Barbie Silkstone. I believe it was doll number 2 in the revival in the Exquisite gown or something like that. Anyway, unfortunately, you cannot get her anymore because she did sell out because of the sale. Because I'm sure there was a lot of other, you know, doll collectors that would have said, you know, I would have purchased her if she was less. I gotta see how my finances look, because another thing too, not trying to get too personal, like I'm also very selective on what I purchase as well, because, you know, there are some things financially I can't be spending that much because there are, you know, certain responsibilities that, you know, a grown-up has. So I have to be very selective, and that's why I decided to get her on sale. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm rambling at this point. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys will tune in to see what else I have to say. So, bye-bye.